in this. And like you said, we've got the Chief. It's kind of the beauty and like the bittersweet thing about like collegiate sports and collegiate, esports, is that you've got students that come and go. So we've got the Chief. He's here. I think he's a graduate student now. So
Yeah, that's correct.
um, he's been here. We've still got that history in the program. Same thing with On Her. He's been here since season 1.
Hmm.
Verical has kind of come in between that time, and now you've got new names: SK73, Myrith, Yori. Um, if you look at the subs as well, Oatmeal Boy and Brodo as well, and yeah, should be exciting. Get to see the new faces tonight in their first competitive game as we start on Ilios. And boy, oh boy, I am ready to go. We'll kind of wait and see what the lineups here are going to be. I haven't been able, Flav, to watch too many practices or scrims or anything like that. I did watch, I think, one scrim, and I gotta say, composition aside, I was really impressed with the Gold team's teamwork and ability to communicate and try out new things this semester.
Yeah, for sure. I think one thing that the team is really doing well this time is just taking into account player strengths and weaknesses. They're taking the characters that they're really good at and trying to accentuate that into a team composition. Instead of just trying to do what's called, the meta composition, the most effective one, they're really just trying to flex and allow all of their players to do what they want pretty much. So they have fun, but also, they're playing well as a team together.
Well, if we look on the Augustana side, we've got Breadman, Superb, Dad, Weezer. Oh boy, that name is going to throw me. But Harvical, chat, let me know how that name is actually pronounced, and maybe Flav will provide that information, as well as Vanilla Big Hug. And of course, you all know the Murray State players. We were talking about them a minute ago, and here we go. Looks like it's going to be the Symmetra teleporter to get them a little bit ahead, and Weezer will go ahead and switch, which will put them down one extra player for a brief second. But of course, Tracer's going to get up there quick, and now the first shot's opening up in this fall 2021 semester. And right away, both teams just trying to kind of feel each other out around the statue on Ilios. Murray State really sticking together here. Breadman swinging in, slamming down, knocking Murray State into the air. Yori's in a lot of trouble. Now he's down to the melee of Superb. Murray State rotating around to the point. Breadman charging in once more. Miracle down. He's discorded. He's got to be careful trying to back up now. DMAC, SK73 just trying to retreat as that Reaper. And Augustana so far doing a wonderful job of just slowly pushing Murray State back here.
Yeah, that was a great engage by Augustana right there. They dove quickly onto the Lucio. As part of this rush composition, especially with the Reaper, you have to get the Lucio out of the game in order to get your team into the position. So great work by Augustana there.
Murray State back to the drawing board, slowly moving up here, and the spread is real here for Augustana. All spread out, kind of, not together like Murray State is, but just keeping all of their angles covered. Weezer over there on the side, just trying to feel it out, and there is an early coalescence coming in from Myri. There are the mines as well from Breadman, and now Ultimate's being propped to Transcendence as well as an EMP. And both teams just kind of trading here, but it looks like, wow, Augustana is really coming out on top. Nobody actually fell from their side. And Murray State in full retreat. Breadman chasing, Yori trying to get out of there, and Murray State once again, as the percentage ticks up to 46, has to regroup and try again.
Yeah, for sure. I think Murray State just had a little bit of an issue generating these ultimates, but to give Augustana some credit, they have been super aggressive on the counter dives. Murray State went to the point there, but then Augustana just came in with the Transcendence and the EMP like you pointed out. So we'll see how Murray State does this fight.
Looks like the Racers over here on the right side in this little bitty room trying to provide some cover and get around the wall here. There's the EMP from On Her. Chief diving in on that Winston, followed by Vericle. They're both just trying to get Superb. Now Superb DMAC, they've got to watch out for Breadman, who's rolling around behind them. Superb's health so low, and now Murray State really taking control of this point. They've got 3%. And moving on, Breadman hacked, and brilliant execution from On Her on that Sombra. And Dad left alone on the point. Murray State able to push forward here and be a little bit more aggressive now.
Yeah, this is great, especially because that engage was, they used so few ultimates on the side of Murray State. They still have the Primal Rage and the Self-Destruct as well as the Sound Barrier, so this is going to set up Murray State for a long capture here.
Looks like Bremen is going to go ahead and charge in and try to maybe push them back a little bit. Here comes the Diva Self-Destruct. They're both going to be trading. Superb, sorry, does find Yori. Vericle finds 2. And Harvicle is going to return that favor. Some even trades here coming on as Myrick retreats, and now the Coalescence as well, just providing that cover for the team. And On Her has to retreat, hacked from Dad. Those two kind of just trying to prove who's the better Sombra here. Murray State able to still just kind of hold this point. SK73 providing some fire for his teammates, and despite Murray State being down a couple players, now here come the reinforcements, and they're able to continue to hold on to this point, 76 to 51.
Yeah, for sure. This is going to be so close here. Murray State only used the self-destruct, and they're a huge EMP coming in, connecting to 3 there.
Yeah, 3 on the EMP, now 1 down, but that is a trade. Superb and Dad both on the other side of that coin. Yori now with a sound boost that could be important as Murray State is now reinforced, and the Chief moving in on Vanilla Big Hug. Murray's getting an orb kill onto the Zenyatta. Now Breadman falling as well, and Murray State again, 76 to 74. Great job so far. Augustana, to borrow the old line, they're not playing bad. Murray State's just playing a little better right now. We got to throw back that classic line.
Yeah,
just able to hold these fights.
Yeah, the ult rotations are just coming out so much better for Murray State at this point. I think Augustana, they're throwing some ultimates in, they're just not getting all the value that they need. Oh, and Superb, they fall and get demeched.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Superb. Did not realize On Her was up there. Now SK with the ult, not able to find anybody. The Transcendence is there from Harvicle. On Her is on the point as well. Hag, now he's fine. Vericle has to watch out with that health being low, but once again, the third coalescence from Murray as the mines land on the point, and a self-destruct as well. Chief finds one with his ult, and Murray State putting everything they can into this fight as they are now into overtime. 3 left alive for Augustana. Breadman just trying to slam it. Nobody was there to find it. Dad's health is low. Now it's all down to Breadman. Spin to win. Not able to do it. And unless there's quick enough reinforcements, Murray State takes that. 1-0 on map number 1.
Great plays there from the Racers and Augustana. Like we mentioned, I think the ult rotations from Murray State just kind of got better after they got the capture there at the end. Augustana just used a couple, but they really could never get 2 across the line. We'll see if they can adapt here as we go over to Well. This is going to be a great area, especially for Yori if he sticks onto this Lucio. And Vericle, his signature hero, some may consider is his Hog, so he's pulling that out here as well. So this is going to be Boop Central, also bringing in the Hammond as well as the Forest. So there are so many Boops on the side of Murray State here. I think there's going to be a lot of environmental kills coming up.
Yeah, interesting composition here. We do see the Pharaohs on both sides with the Mercy pocket as well. This is going to come down to who can boop and who can fare better, in the opening salvo from Dad coming in. SK73 now in the air as well. And both teams will really want to shut down that kind of area denial that the Pharaoh is going to provide. Reith is just healing up SK73, and both teams just kind of dancing around the point right now. It's not unlocked yet. No need to commit into the open space, and with that Pharaoh in the air, I mean, why not? We'll go in here. We'll be protected by cover, and we'll let you two, duke it out. But as soon as we say that, Superb just pushes very far forward and loses a lot of health, but does get the pick onto Yori. Is it going to be worth it as Murray State looks to just continually punish the Augustana players for continuing to move forward there? Breadman is going to retreat. Murray State will take the early capture on this point here, and Augustana early on is going to have to figure out how to get past this kind of adaptive Murray State Racers team.
Yeah, it seemed like Augustana had some really good positioning there at the beginning, but then they just kind of stalled out. Like we see sometimes with some teams, they get in a good position, but then they just stay there. And you can't do that when you're playing against a Forest. You will just spam that corridor forever. And I think Augustana found that out the hard way.
On that Tracer, just trying to make quick work of Augustana, not able to necessarily find it. Now Weezer pushing forward. On Her's health is low. The Chief has fallen. Yori as well. SK73 trying to make something happen. On the other side, Superb, meanwhile, just chasing down Yori, who's in a lot of trouble with Breadman as well. Somebody's got to protect him as he continues to move back. Myrith is there. They're able to heal Yori and keep that going. On Her just doing work on the side of the unsung hero of that area. Now SK73 in the air as well. And, I mean, Murray State right now, it's kind of a weird fight, Flab. It's,
yeah.
Kind of spread out. There's a lot of individual fights happening here at once. It's kind of making it difficult to track exactly where things are going to change on the map.
Yeah, exactly. This is some classic dive. There's a 1v1 going on over there. There's a 1v1 going on over here. So we'll see how Augustana replies here, but Murray State has held on to the advantage the entire time.
SK73 has fallen.
Oh, what a nice shot from Dad.
Might try to come out with the battle mercy, but does just go ahead and heal up as Chief takes down Superb with that slam. Still able to maintain control, 79% and counting. There was the revive attempt by Reith, now trying to get away with a little sliver of health. Able to dodge the rocket, but Breadman in pursuit. And it looks like, barring just some crazy stall there, yeah, I was going to say it. That should be Augustana's point. 88-2, respectable hold for the Racers, and now it's their turn to try and break Augustana's positioning.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're the racers here, honestly, you just save up and try to use ultimates. Augustana's not coming up on too many. They have 3, so just let them use those, take the Ls, go back in with 5 or 6 ult, and just press Q. Oh, that's a great pick, though. That might open
Oh.
things up.
Yeah, that's a big, important pick. And now the Chief bringing in the mines, a good place to put them right there. On her pushing forward, taking down the Ana. There's a revive already put in onto Dad. And Myrith as well popping one on Yori. So now the Racers and Augustana pretty much at full strength, except for that Ana missing. And that could be critical as Dad falls as well. SK73 just proving who's the superior Pharaoh right now. As Vericle pushes Weezer back. And there's the ult from SK73. Vericle as well. And Murray State really just running through that point. And I think you said it, Flav. Just get those ults and push forward and you can take that point.
I will give Sky some credit there. He solo ulted at Baby Diva, so that's mad props to him for doing that. Great shots from him, though, on the far. This is fantastic work from the Racers. I mean, all they have to do is hold it on here, but Vericle falls and Chief is on the way, so Augustana does have an opening here, but the res comes off. That's perfect.
A self-destruct denied by the Transcendence. Yori now retreating to provide some heals for his team as Sky continues to move around that point, chasing Dad, just completely denying that opportunity for Dad to really do anything. Is on her and Weezer. The two Tracers just trading people out. Ooh, and it looks like, yeah, Murray State Chief getting his kill as well. They're going to continue to push them back. And right now, Breadman, once again, the last man on the point. There's Vanilla, though. Vanilla big hug it back as well as the Lucio, and that's a tricky one to take down. They're going to need a focus fire. That is Superb as well as on the point. They can go ahead and take at least 1 or 2 out. That's going to make it a lot easier, but here comes Weezer as well. Now into the air. They need to take out Weezer and Breadman, who's just dropped mines onto the point. Now, Sky continuing to push them backwards down the middle of the map, but really, Augustana's just providing a lot of trouble right now in this overtime here.
Yeah, this is so crazy. Their spawns are so long for Augustana, but they're somehow staying in these fights. But as long as Murray State can get some more kills, I think they're going to win it here.
Yeah, now it's just down to Vanilla Big Hug. I don't think anybody's going to get back quick enough, but can he stay alive long enough? There's the hook from Vericle, and that's going to shut it down. Murray State University takes map number 1.
So chaotic there, but like we saw, Murray State comes out on top. Those dives maybe a little bit more coordinated than Augustana, and honestly, the fire play from Sky there was just exquisite, but a play of the game from Vericle.
And of course, this play of the game, self-destruct in pocket ready to go, and I think we know what's going to happen here. I'm just going to back up. You're going to self-destruct. I'm going to self-destruct. Let's see who comes out on top. I'll trade you your 1 for your 2, and yeah, as they're saying in chat, good round. That was a good game to watch. And we're going to move on to map number 2. So, yeah, Flav, looking back at thoughts on Elios, thoughts about game as a whole, composition from both teams. How are you feeling watching that?
Yeah, I think Murray State and both Augustana did a fantastic job there. Like I said, I think Murray State's compositional dives were just a little bit more coordinated. Maybe some individual skill coming out as a little bit more as well. As we saw there, Sky on the far just got so many picks, and on her as well, following up on that damage. So great work from the Racers, but also great work from Augustana. I was really impressed with Weezer, and the far plater. I cannot remember who that was, but yeah, fantastic place from there. Especially if we're going to go over to Kings Row and see some different compositions. This could go Augustana's way if they play Brawl.
Yeah, of course, Weezer was, playing very well that last game, almost playing like he was on an island in the sun. So that's Flavia, you probably don't even get that joke. Holy cow, that's a really old man joke. I might have just lost all of our viewers from that one. I'm sorry.
We've gone to 0, unfortunate.
Yeah, let's just redo that one. Let's start over again. They've got to replay game number 1. I'm sorry for that, viewers. I'm sure when this 3-minute delay hits, I'm gonna have a lot of boos in chat. So sorry about that.
I think
looks like we are gonna get some subs.
Yeah, definitely. Oatmeal coming in again, one of our new players. So we're gonna see him shine. He's primarily a monkey player, if I do remember correctly, a Winston player. So we're probably gonna see some more dive with the monkey and probably a Diva or Zarya. Brodo as well coming in. Mywraith has been putting him on the Zenyatta, even though he's not really a Zenyatta player, but he's been doing well. From what I can tell, so we may see some 2018 or 2019 dive coming out here, so that'll be really nice to see. I'm really interested to see again what Augustana pulls out. If they can really try to do a heavy brawl or a double shield, that may stunt Murray State's dive ability here a little bit, but we'll just have to see once we get in the server.
Well, and of course it is Kings Row, and Kings Row, of course, a map favorite of Overwatch fans worldwide, but especially Murray State fans. Quite an interesting history with this map. It's kind of where our first glory kind of was found, quote unquote, as the club kicked off with Overwatch, and kind of a mixed history, so to speak. Some really great really great games played here, excuse me, but also some not so great ones. So as we enter 2021, what is Kings Row going to hold for Murray State University? I don't know, but it's going to be exciting to see. And we'll see what the lineups are here shortly as the doors unlock. And Flav, I mean, Kings Row, what else do you need to say? I mean, this should be every single time. There should be Kings Row played every single time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if anyone's been keeping track of the Overwatch League, the loser obviously gets to pick the map, and I think it's been Kings Row about 99% of the time picked, so it's nothing crazy here. But something interesting about the NECC is that all 3 maps are actually picked in advance by the organization and not by the players or the teams. So when we go into map 1, we know exactly what map 2 and map 3 are going to be. So that creates an interesting dynamic between the teams of being able to say, okay, we have to practice for these 3 maps this week, and they can really get their expertise down. So that we're going to see how that impacts things going through the season.
Well, and also it's not a best of 3. It is 3 games we're playing.
Correct.
Regardless tonight. They're looking at map differential throughout the season. So buckle up, because there will be another match after this one as Murray State pushes around quickly around that statue. The brilliant ice wall there is going to prevent Oatmeal and Myri for at least a little bit getting over, but Brodo taken down right as the reinforcements arrive. Now SK Sky has to back up, taken down by Dad. McCree on McCree violence as Oatmeal Boy is the last to retreat. Murray State back to the drawing board, not afraid to just go ahead and retreat and come at this with a full team fight. That's that. Now, Clev, you talked about the leadership of somebody like Myri coming into this team, the experience. It's something small, but I think in the past, and maybe you can allude to talk about this more because you used to be on the team. I think in the past, Murray State just charges in and tries to take that fight and just wait for the 6th player to come in.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really just the team becoming smarter, and like you said, maybe more leadership on the part of Myri there. But a great ice wall coming out from Augie, though.
Brilliant. Yeah, another great ice wall. Oatmeal Boy stunned, taken down out of the mech.
But the Ryan's down.
Ryan is able to be taken down by Sky, so it's good little trades there. And Harvicle taking down Oatmeal Boy as well. There's the window, though, for Augustana. Chief has to back up quick. You saw the focus fire and the damage coming into him. And Myriath is trying their best to keep the Chief alive here as the health continues to move up and down. Reinforcements arriving. But Murray State smartly using the cover of that statue to just continue this presence here on the point. Now they can move forward here. Here's the high noon protected by the shield, but there's an immortality field as well. It does find one, and that is an important pick on a Breaded Man as Murray State still cannot find. There's their first touch from on her. Just barely getting on and having to back up already. And Augustana doing a really good job here. Superb, just continuing to push so far out. And here comes the Blizzard as well. Weezer popping that home, ultimately taken down. Chief is frozen. Brodo as well. Self-destruct to back them up. Murray State, as soon as it looks like they're going to get on there and at least get a tick, Augustana continuing to hold it on her in the back line. Can he do anything? No. But
Murray State's investing here.
Front. Yeah, they're still just investing a lot here. They're committed to winning this one.
This is a little peculiar. I mean, their main tank is down right now, and they don't have the numbers. I think this is a missed call from them, from Murray State. Yeah, they get demec'd. I think that was a bad call there on the engage. I mean, they really didn't. They used all of their ultimates in a losable fight there. So we'll see if there's any swaps coming out. Yeah, Myraith going on to the Moiras. So maybe it was just a, hey, we're gonna swap compositions. Let's just see what we get and try. But I mean, now we only have a minute and a half left, and Augustana has the Deadeye. And is the only ult on the field. It's gonna be pretty impactful. Let's see what Murray State can do here.
Well, not only the Deadeye, they're very close to that Shatter. If they can keep Breaded Man alive, there's the Immortality field. Excuse me, Dad. Just pulling that one out, finding one as well. Can the High Noon from Murray State find any more? No, it is going to just zone them off around that side of the hotel. And Murray State, you know, if you're going to have that opportunity, I don't know if you need to push forward there and take that point or go through the hotel, but they all just kind of stood around and waited for something to happen, and that's going to allow Breaded Man to push forward and take out Chief Weezer as well. There's the ult from on her, and the shield from Breaded Man will shut them down, and now with under a minute remaining, Murray State back to the drawing board here.
Yeah, for sure. I think Murray State's biggest problem has been trying to, like, they haven't been able to fully disengage. They haven't called, okay, let's just back up. We lost somebody. Let's go back 6v6. They keep getting caught in a weird area, especially in that hotel. And Augustana is just capitalizing every single time. As you can see, Murray State, only one ultimate to their name with the Earth Shatter, but Augustana has the Earth Shatter as well as the Amplification Matrix. So this is going to be an uphill battle for Murray State.
We've seen some DPS switches here. We saw a hack and a big shatter from Murray State, but some pretty good stuns coming from Augustana. This is an interesting fight on the point as Murray State pushes forward here. Chief fighting so many. He is absolutely popping off. The longtime player, the graduate student, former team captain, the Chief, leading that last second charge to take the point and causing a full reset for Augustana.
Wow, that is exactly what you like to see, especially in that overtime scenario. I mean, if that Earth Shatter didn't hit, we would be, talking about how much Murray State didn't do there. We would be back in the respawn queue essentially for the next round where Augustana's on the attack.
Flav, correct me if I'm wrong if I missed this, but I do believe I saw on the Sombra, hack Reinhardt as well, hacked Bredeman, which prevented them from using the shield to block that shatter to begin with.
Gotcha.
I'd have to go back and watch that for sure, but I don't want to miss that important play as well because I feel like that could have been pretty important there.
Yeah, definitely. If that happened, that's crucial. I didn't see it either because I just saw, 4 people laying on their backs there in an overtime situation. So another great hack though from on her. So, another bomb coming in.
Another self-destruct from Oatmeal Boy. Chief able to just take down Vanilla Big Hug, and Murray's finding a pick as well onto Bredeman, and I feel so bad for Bredeman on that. Reinhardt started the game so well, and now just unfortunately getting picked at these really inopportune times right now. Murray State just kind of steamrolling through the alleyway, and don't forget the card, guys. Brodo going back and getting it. The rest of the team following suit instead of just trying to push forward and be aggressive, probably making the smart call here. They're going to take this fight on this corner. Augustana, great ice wall again. Continual great ice walls. There's a self-destruct to follow it up. Murray State scattering. Oh, and Superb does find Brodo. That's one support down as Murray just, I'm going to coalesce at this point by myself. That's fine. DPS Moira, we got it. But Augustana able to push back the racers yet again, and this is just a back and forth, a tug of war around this payload right now.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Augustana got that, pretty cheap. They only really invested the self-destruct, and so they're holding on to especially the May Freeze and also the Earth Shatter here for this engage. And Murray State only has 45 seconds, so that's really only one long fight, maybe 2 if you wipe almost instantly and come back. So Murray State, again, with their backs against the wall, but Chief, again, has the Shatter. So let's see if anything happens here, as well as Sky. He has the Death Blossom. So big plays coming up here soon.
Bredeman has it as well. It's going to be just really a game of who can get that Shatter off first. There's the window invested early into the fight. It's going to be worth it. There's a Shatter, and it is fairly large. A couple stunned there, but Murray State pushing forward. Good block from the Chief. Weezer and Dad finding picks. Harvicle as well. The Chief is down. This is trouble for Murray State with 10 seconds left. This doesn't look like another team fight. Myrith is just doing everything they can to stay alive on the point. Unable to do so as Weezer cleans it up. And that looks like that's going to do it for the first round for Murray State. And now sides will swap.
Yeah, that'll do it for them. But, I'm just glad that they got it through streets. Like we said, they were going towards first point with 30 seconds left in an overtime situation, and Augustana had so many more ultimates, but due to an Earth Shatter from the Chief, they were able to pull it out there. So if you're looking at it, it's a great play from Murray State to get it that far, but in my opinion, their backs are still against the wall. The odds of you holding first point Kings Row were pretty low, as well as getting some decent fights in the streets phase are also pretty low. So Murray State definitely going to have to try to bleed the time bank as much as possible here in order to get the W and make sure that payload doesn't get to that corner.
Yeah, no, you were exactly right. This first point so critical, and it's not even just holding it, Flav. It's holding it perfectly because they don't. Augustana doesn't have to, they don't get an automatic victory if they claim the first point, but the time bank is going to be critical because if they steamroll this first point, that is going to make it so much harder for the racers to hold it in streets. They need to bleed, like you said, as much time as possible. It's going to be absolutely critical to play this perfectly, and we'll kind of see how it goes. It looks like Chief obviously going to stay on the Reinhardt, Omo Boy, and the Diva on her has switched over to the McCree in lieu of playing the Sombra, so we'll see how that works out. And meanwhile, if you're an Augustana fan, I don't know how well Dad is on that Widowmaker, but might be looking out for some, for some POV action there. From he switched, of course, to McCree. Darn, I was hoping to see some headshots here. Augustana moving out of the gate. Murray State going to hold this around the hotel. And similar strategy from Murray State. Bredeman being very aggressive here, pushing forward here. Oh, Murray State really has to watch out. A mistimed ice wall. That's not going to be what Augustana needs, but they're not quitting on this fight. An Immortality Field already invested and waiting for that to be on cooldown. Murray State as well. And the Racers backing up to the back corner of this point. Augustana very quick to touch the point. Murray State wasn't as aggressive to get onto it and at least just get a little bit of a foothold. But Murray State able to hold. The Racers pushing them back. Augustana back to the drawing board already. They're going to wait for that 6. No need. They've got 3 minutes. They're not panicking yet.
Yeah, such an early amplification matrix there from Myrate. That was so good, so early, and it pushed the pressure on Augustana to back up because Chief's shield was super low there. If that amplification matrix hadn't come out, Augustana could have W'd in for free, and here they come with their own.
The window invested High Noon as well is completely blocked by Bredeman. There's the Immortality Field as well, but now here comes the High Noon as well. Excuse me, that was the Murray State High Noon. It was blocked. Dad just trying to do his, but nobody really able to find it. But Murray State beat a little cheeky trying to go around the other side. Weezer and Bredeman, though. Weezer is popping off on this mate. Absolutely insane right now. That's his 2nd or 3rd right there in that team fight. And this is kind of what you fear if you're a Murray State fan is, I mean, that is 5 minutes now, basically.
Yeah,
just
definitely.
under 5 minutes to stop them in the streets.
Yeah, and I don't think Murray State's going to be able to get an earlier hold here. As you see, Augustana pushing up really, really aggressive. So they know that Murray State's win condition is to bleed time, so they're going to try to hold on this first corner if at all possible. That way the payload can get as much free progress as possible. So Murray State has to push them back to the payload as quickly as possible. Otherwise, that time bank is not going to help them out at all.
It looks like they've been able to at least push them back, or maybe that's Augustana's game plan. They do have the Blizzard, they do have the Self-Destruct, they have the Shatter, they have the ultimates they need, but there is a Self-Destruct as well on the side of Murray State, and here it comes for Superb. What can he make happen here? It is going to find Brodo. There's the Shatter, but it's completely blocked. Here comes another one as well, and now ults galore. Sky just trying to make something happen, unable to do so, and Vanilla just going to boop him to death as Murray State falls 1 by 1, and Augustana fans surely are getting their emotes ready and getting ready to cheer on their team because this looks to be certain. The cart moving forward, nobody there to contest, and Augustana is going to take that. Kings Row, map number 2. And even the score, 1-1 now as we head into our 3rd map.
Yeah, super close there from both teams. I think Augustana just had the advantage in the brawl, if I'm going to be honest. They just kind of worked more as a cohesive unit there. Murray State tried to do some weird rotations occasionally, but big slam from the Chief like we saw.
Oh.
Huge there. And a block too, just superb, and then the pin. That's just exquisite Rhine play right there. Mwah, perfect. But yeah, like I was saying, Murray State just pulled out a couple of weird rotations and didn't disengage properly occasionally. So we'll see if they can tweak that going into Dorado here as the escort map. So like you said, 1-1 right now. The winner of this next map is going to decide the series. It's going to be pretty hard to draw on escort, so I think we're going to come out with a winner here.
Yeah, as we head into Dorito, aka Dorado, both teams feeling, I would say, confident. Murray State had a very good map 1, but you know, on the other side of the coin, Augustana, that map 2, that was some really good Kings Row from them as well. And Murray State will now make some more subs. Let's see kind of what that will affect here as 2 players come out. It looks like perhaps Oatmeal Boy might be going in. I didn't see on the chat necessarily who they were trading. Okay,
yeah,
here we go.
It looks like Veracruz
Yeah.
and Yori are coming back in from round 1.
There we go. Coming back into round number 3. No subs on the side, excuse me, of Augusta. And we'll wait for the teams to be ready. This is also, you know, in this game, Flav, it actually has worked out. You know, we're used to best of 3s, best of 5s. And in this situation, it is a best of 3. It is a bit weird, though. It's, you know, how would you feel, Flav, as a player? I mean, I've never played in any of these tournaments, but
Sure.
if you are going in and it's not a best of 3, it's a set 3 games, how is that going to make you feel in terms of a player in your preparation?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, on one hand, you're like, okay, awesome. We have only these 3 maps that we have to worry about. We don't have to worry about all of these maps in our pool, or just in the map pool. It's going to be, first map, going to be Ilios. Second map, going to be Kings Row. Third map going to be Dorado. So you can really practice for those maps pretty efficiently. But if you're in a situation where you're kind of getting steamrolled and you have to play that third map, it just doesn't feel good, to be honest. So I think that really only is going to come into play, like I said, if you're either getting steamrolled or if you're just steamrolling someone. You're like, yes, we get to play all 3 maps, we get to do this the whole time. It's a play of the game machine, pretty much. But this map here that we're seeing, it's pretty even. And this is exactly what we want to see. And I think that kind of gives credit to NECC systems. For those of you who aren't aware, we actually did placement matches a couple weeks ago for this division. So we are only going to play teams that are relatively similar to us. So hopefully we're actually going to go to these, 1-1 situations and have a map 3 decider. Because those are always the funnest for us, and usually the players too. You could get a crushing defeat. It motivates you to come back and be better. But then if you win, that serotonin is just on a roller coaster. So I think the racers are going to have a lot of fun this semester, and especially with this new system coming into play.
Yeah, and it's got meme potential as well. If you won your first 2, why not go into map number 3? But map differential, that's the thing. It is important. As this is league play, it's not a tournament, and so every point is going to matter. And I really, so far, it's early going, but as new participants in NECC, I like that we're playing teams that are kind of closer to our rank, so to speak, our skill level, as opposed to, TESPA before, or Overwatch Collegiate, where 1 week you're playing, Maryville, and then the week after that you're playing, a team that's just started playing Overwatch.
Yeah, that was pretty much the main criticism that we had with TESPA was, it's every round, it seems, was decided by RNG and not how you actually played, right? Like you said, you would show up and you would play a top 500 scholarship team, and then your second match would be, a gold average team from, some college out west or something like that. It was just so chaotic and so really unfun, if I'm going to be completely honest, when I was a player. That's how I felt. And now moving to the NECC, we feel so much more loved, and there's so much more attention to the player experience. So can't praise the NECC enough, and I just look forward to the season to come, pretty much.
So far, so good. And speaking of, I believe there will still be games going on after the Murray State game tonight, so be sure to check out NECC_esports on Twitch. Twitch.tv/NECC_esports. I am not sure what game will come on after this one. I don't know who's forfeited or changed, so you'll have to check their social media to find out. But be sure to tune in and support some other collegiate esports programs. And here we go. Dorado, some different hero selection coming
definitely
out here for Murray State.
Yeah, I love it seeing this from Murray State. Map 1 we saw Dive, Map 2 we saw Brawl, and now we're seeing the Sig Hog, the pull-push kind of comp. So this is going to be great. A lot of diversity coming from the racers. I think that's mainly because the game of Overwatch is actually fairly balanced at the moment. Maybe the players wouldn't agree with me, but the meta is actually super diverse and open. So I love to see the dynamics between these two teams right now.
Well, as a viewer and as a caster, Flav, I have to say, when we started this program, it was still, goats had just died. It was the double shield meta, and things were not great back then. So I will take this as a viewer now. Definitely for it's way better. And Murray State coming out early on that first team fight. Sky just doing a little bit of reconnaissance there as the Hanzo. Murray State taking this fight. They want to take this back towards the street here by the statue, and they're going to allow Augustana to push forward, and that's going to be a big pick on her onto Harvicle. That Ana down, that's immediately going to force them to regroup. Superb just going to lob in a couple shots there, just try to get a little bit of that ult charge as they wait for that reinforcement. Superb Discord is going to have to be careful around that corner. You see that health will dwindle quickly, and they regroup for the team fight here. As Augustana pushes forward right now, it's just Superb leading the line. Breaded Man charging in, discorded right away, and Murray State melting him. Chief with the rock kill, and Superb is a little bit too late. Oh, not a little bit too late. Had the charge taken down the Chief, but immediately revived. Miracle returns the favor. Weezer down, Dad just running for his life, bubbled, and just like, yeah, I'll die on the point, whatever. We've lost enough people. And Murray State again, good hold so far.
Yeah, Breaded Man, he kind of had the main tank experience in 2021 thrown at him there. He jumped in with a bubble and got bubbled by the Zarya and just got melted instantly. That happens, especially when you're playing Monkey. Great work by the Murray State to really focus him down as he was jumping into the backline. But as I say that, Augustana coming up on some ultimates, and Murray State really doesn't have a lot that they're going to be able to reply with. So this is all on Augustana here.
Yeah, no, that was impressive from the Racers. Breaded Man just leaping in, Nano on him, ready to go, and the Discord and the focus fire from Murray State, the attention to the shot calling, just melting the health away from Breaded Man, and really, really good teamwork. And this is another thing, Flav, I think I've noticed this semester so far, much better shot calling, much more attention to focusing those targets down.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing that I've noticed here is that the mental is so good too. I mean, you just came off of King's Row where you basically got full held to a certain extent and you just got rolled on their attack. So coming right in, Murray State is holding their own right here, and they've held them on first point for so long here. This is a great thing to see if you're a Racers fan, because their mental is so good right now. That's a creative graviton from the side of Augustana right there.
Yeah, those are some interesting traded ults here. Augustana just completely spread out. They need to regroup. It's under a minute.
Oh,
there is no
headshot.
reason to feed at this point. Great shot from Sky to finish that kill onto Weezer. And, you know, if you're Augustana, there is a little bit of, you know, optimism here. You've been held on this point, but you've got 3-4 ults coming up right now that you are ready to invest. The important thing is making them land, and that hook was critical. But there is the Nano, there is the ult onto Breaded Man. The Discord Orb isn't going to be enough. Miracle stunned just into oblivion. Stun locked completely as Dad gets the kill. That's several ults invested. Now they only have the ult from Weezer. Myri getting the revive onto the Chief on her, trading out a pick as well. So now the fight will continue as Weezer moves around to the side, but Murray State is aware. They know that the Tracer's in the back line.
Great pick from Yuri, though.
Forward. Yeah, great work from Yuri. Good trade onto the Vanilla. Big hug, and Murray State continuing to hold us here. Superb low health on the right side of the cart. Oh, but a big pick onto Sky. Murray State reinforcements there once more. Verical with that shield protecting him, and Myri in the air just doing mercy things, keeping the team alive. And another big hook as Verical pulls out the ult, but slept immediately. Murray State continuing to hold, but Augustana not ready to give this one up. And both teams really just trying to charge that one ult that will turn the tide of this round. Weezer retreating back to the point. 3 players from Augustana continuing to hold. Murray State there in full strength. There's the grab, but there are some ults from Murray State to trade it out as well. The Dragon doesn't find any. Chief does find one with his ult. But Augustana, you know, unless On Her pulls out a miracle here, that's going to be their point and continue map number 3 here, round 1.
That nano boost onto Breaded Man there, that was a okay, we're gonna cap. We're gonna nano you, we're gonna kill the Ash, we're gonna cap for sure. That was pretty funny there. But I think Augustana really just pulled out the classic press Q there. Murray State did a great job of trying to stall it out, but after they press Q, they just got the other ones on, like Breaded Man. He had another Primal, I believe, and then they got another nano boost off there too. So, but Murray State University got some ultimates of their own coming in here, so we could see a really early hold here, especially on this corner. That's where Murray State likes to hold.
I feel like I keep saying Bearded Man, Flav, and it's Breaded Man. So
Breaded, oh yeah.
You're saying it right. I feel like I'm saying it wrong. So
okay.
viewers, I'm apologizing if I'm saying it wrong. A hook missed from Verical, and that cart continuing to move forward. Murray State kind of nonplussed about it. They're just letting it go, but there's the ult as well. Breaded Man just raging around the point, but Yori with the Transcendence. Murray State will stay alive through this for the most part. Chief is down, but there's the revive from Myri. They always have the rest of the Racers back here as they continue to fight on this overpass. Weezer
Bob
just
is popping off.
Yep. You know, let's give a shout out to Bob. He's been practicing hard this year, and you know, able to use his skills to take down Augustana. But a minute left. They're close to this point. I think they've got enough ults coming up online shortly where they can turn this tide. But look over at Murray State. They've got some as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think Augustana's coming up on a few good ones like Pulse Bomb, Nano Boost, and the Tac Visor. If they can get Nano Boost coming on, that's going to be great for them, but they're nowhere close to their tank ultimates, and those are usually the most impactful. So Augustana going to be probably playing here at a disadvantage, but again, we'll see if they can pull out that Tac Visor for sure, because there's not too many shields on the side of Murray State, so it forced a lot of positioning.
So Dragon is ready, Verical is ready to go whole hog here, but Weezer in the back line. He's discorded, so needs to just back it up a little bit, just trying to wait that out. And Murray State popping that ult pretty early, protected by the shield. Verical just barely staying alive. Superb falling, and that might be a crucial pick. Can they get the revive out? It looks like they're not even going to go for it at the moment. Harvicle in full retreat is the Ana. Verical alone on the point right now, except for the Chief, who's there to just provide a little bit of reinforcement. And you know, it may not have been the flashiest kind of a win there, but Augustana really able to push forward and take down the racers one by one. And it looks like, you know, I think they're going to extend this. Maybe Murray State can briefly touch, but I have a feeling they're just going to take this next fight. Yeah,
I don't think so. They're setting up for a third point hold here. So yeah, great place from Augustana there to really, you know, push Murray State back. I think that Nano Visor up on the top really gave them a lot of space. Like I mentioned, they kind of caught Murray State off guard, just got them playing on the low ground, and Augustana just had full high ground control there. So great place from them, but look forward to another hold here from Murray State. They do have a lot of ultimates coming online with only a minute in the time bank for Augustana, so very winnable for Murray State here.
And of course, this is the point for defense to hold here, being so close to the point. Bob going into the back line, but Harvicle just puts Bob to sleep right away and moves on. Not even a concern for Augustana, but Bob does wake up, and I think they might have forgotten for a little bit, but Breaded Man pushing forward with that ult, and the racers just being pushed back in that cart, continuing to slowly push. Sky needs to retreat as that Hanzo, and Breaded Man continuing to lead the line, but he's discorded and taken down by Onher once more. Onher, I've seen him in scrims, at least 1 or 2 scrims this year, playing really nasty on that Onher. He's got some great dynamite coming in. Sky getting the pick onto Vanilla. Big hug. That is huge. And there's another one as well as Superb falls. And that is the time you want to start popping off on those heroes with 20 seconds remaining and all of the ults that Murray State needs to hold it. But if you look at the other side, here comes Augustana with several to invest as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Murray State, like you said, they've got 4 ultimates coming to their name, but they do have the Graviton Surge, and that is one of the biggest tank ultimates in the game. So Augustana really going to try to utilize this. Probably they grab Pulse Combination if I had to guess, but the Nano goes on to Breaded Man first.
Yeah, Breaded Man nanoed as usual. He's going to leap up there and just try to completely disorganize the racers. Verical popping the ult as well, pushing back. Breaded Man, brilliant use of that ult, but somebody has to watch out for Weezer on the point. There's Superb as well, continuing to push that cart. Verical slept. Now everybody sucked in.
Oh, the dragon from behind!
It will keep them alive, and the dragon just decimates Augustana. Bob cleaning up as well, and Murray State holds that 2-0. And here we go.
Wow.
Augustana has to get pretty far here, Flav.
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest. I thought that was an enemy dragon for some reason, and then I realized it was blue. And that was obviously Murray State's color there in game. So Sky there just took a huge flank over to the left side from where my camera is right now and did a dragon from behind. So huge heads up play there. I don't think Augustana was prepared for it. And I think that, as well as the Bob, really did seal the deal there for Murray State.
Yeah, nobody was prepared for that, and frankly, I mean, I don't think he, you know, meant for this. But there's so much popping off, so many voice lines being spammed with all the ults. I mean, just in the confusion, even if you've seen him go somewhere, you're like, did I hear that ult? Did I hear him call for the dragon? What's going on?
Yeah.
And completely taken by surprise. Now Murray State can definitely do some work here. They've got to go quite a bit, but they're gonna have all the time they need to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure, and especially if we see this Pharah come out from Sky here, that's going to be fantastic. Like we saw in Ilios, that was so good plays. And while Augustana does have the Soldier 76, he's not the best at bursting down a Pharah. Yes, you can consistently tickle him, but I mean, with my Wraith on the Mercy there, you really need a one-shot like Ashe or Widowmaker to take care of a Pharah fully. So this is probably going to be a battle of Sky and Dad here, honestly. So I'm really looking forward to this DPS duel.
And you have the feeling that, you know, if Dad falls pretty quickly, or Vanilla Big Hug as well, I have a feeling we're going to see a switch over to one of those heroes that you mentioned. Now, Murray State coming out with a
interesting rollout
strategy on her just sitting there on the payload. They've read this now. At first, they had no idea where they were at, but now the play has been read, and Murray State up top just completely ignoring this point on her as well, just continuing to bait Breaded Man, who cannot make anything happen, just continuing to go back and forth and keep that tank completely disengaged from the fight. Meanwhile, the racers over on the left-hand side just pushing back Augustana. Breaded Man in full retreat. The cart continues to push forward. What a cheeky strategy from the Racers.
Yeah, that was great there. That was something definitely that they've practiced. Like I said, you know what maps you're going to play each week, so probably they scrimmed that, like, hey, let's do that. And it worked out fantastic. Like we saw, they just got so much space. It pushed Augustana all the way back to the choke here, but that's where Augustana got caught on their attack, so let's hope that doesn't happen to the Racers as well.
The difference, of course, being that we have Sky in the sky on the Murray State side, and that adds a whole nother plane of existence to this battle. And you've got Honor, of course, on that Tracer. He's so good with that hero, able to just get in, and even if he's not getting the kills, just completely disrupt the team. But, you know, Flav, we talked about it. Dad just took down Sky. No revive coming in yet. Of course, as soon as I say it, cast a curse. There you go. Verical getting the kill onto Breaded Man. There's the revive as well. 2 trading Valkyrie ults. And both teams just really trading out, trying to come out with that advantage. On her with the bomb, Miracle as well, and Augustana will have to forfeit this fight, and Murray State will take P1.
Yeah, definitely. Great plays there from the Racers. I'm really liking this dive from, you know, the Chief and Vericle here. Looks like
Mercy.
The Tracer's in the back line. Let's see if they want to stagger the Tracer, maybe? Let's see if Alex is going to have any fun here with the Tracer 1v1. I think they're just waiting.
The thing is, with Weezer, he's done this several times, or they've done this several times, where they just kind of hang back and surprise you. And it worked out with the Mei, but Dad taking down 2. Oh, there's the visor. It's critical. A triple from him. Most likely the play of the game so far. Brilliant work from Dad as he continues to eviscerate the Racers.
Yeah, that's the perfect place to play that Nano Visor too. Just from the high ground, Murray State really only has the shields from Vericle and then the shield from the Chief to protect. So they were all out in the open. So easy pickings there. But I think Sky's going to go for another creative rollout here. Yeah, he did.
And the thing is here, the visor is invested, and it had value. But now as the team fight comes in, Vlad, let's see if they're going to miss having that, because here comes Sky from the other side to try and surprise them. And meanwhile, Breadman just trying to dive in and solo dolo this. Big kill as Breadman takes down Yuri as well to revive onto the Ana, but that's going to give Murray State the time they need to inch that cart forward. Breadman continuing to try and disrupt, and he's able to get a little bit of value out of this, Breadman, but I have to wonder, Flav, maybe the Zarya, I don't know, is the Zarya really going to cut it out here? Maybe they need to have a more mobile tank. Sky able to get one with his ult, another as well on her finding one. And this isn't, again, this is one of those situations about the same point on the map, Flav. Not the most exciting team fight, but able to one by one pick away at Augustana.
Yeah, and I think the best thing from Murray State here is that they actually have a better time bank going into this phase of the map as well. I mean, they haven't captured point 2 yet, but I mean, by the time that the payload gets to this corner, Augustana is going to be in position, but they really only have the grab and bomb combo, so they really need to look forward to something big. But Murray State has 5 ultimates coming into this fight, so this has to be winnable for Murray State. If they don't win here, it's a huge disaster.
Well, Murray State has decided to go ahead and commit to this fight. The Transcendence to keep several alive as well, but not on her, who unfortunately got caught out. But the quick revive from Murray is going to keep him in as Murray State tries to, you know, a lot invested, but not a lot of value out of those. On her gets the bomb kill. Sky as well on his Dad. The DPS down. Vanilla trying for the revive onto Superb. And Breaded Man, again, just kind of all by his lonesome. Vanilla Big Hug having his work cut out as Mercy is taken down, just completely isolated and stranded. Harvicle trying to provide those heals from the backline, but it's not enough. And Chief, you know, he's not on Reinhardt this time, but he is making it work on the Winston. But Breaded Man, he's angry and he's swinging, and he's going to push back the Racers. And probably a little bit of a soft regroup here, I would say. But, you know, as soon as I say that, Flav, there, the way that Murray State's continuing to play around this point and this payload and use it as cover has been pretty good to watch.
Yeah, Augustana has really kept up Breaded Man so well. I mean, their Ana player was just sitting in the back, but On Her actually got on top of them and got the kill. But like we're seeing here, Murray State had to sort of soft engage, and now Augustana has a nanovisor coming in here. Yeah.
The visor again, Sky the first one, again, the first casualty. Chief just trying to push that back and not able to find the quadruple kill that they did before. Myri does get the revive off as well, but Augustana not giving this up and completely surrounding the payload. There's the bomb onto Harvicle, and there it is, Sky as well taking himself down, unfortunately. That's the nature of playing Pharah sometimes. On Her taken down, and a reset for the Racers.
Wow.
With a minute left.
That was disastrous for the Racers. I'll just say it there. Like I said, Augustana really only had 2 ultimates coming out there, and Murray State had 5, and Augustana just superbly delayed the payload and made those ultimates null and void. Now, Murray State with their backs against the wall with 52 seconds left, and all they have for ultimates is the Primal Rage from the Chief. I mean, that's not really a fight-winning ultimate there, and they're going into a Nano Boost here as well as the Pulse Bomb, so Murray State definitely backs against the wall and an opportunity missed in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely a lot.
Sky's flank though, what is this?
Earlier, the Sky's flank on the Echo as well, but the health just dwindling. Can they keep him alive? How is he still alive? And here it comes, the ult invested from the Chief, but like you said, Augustana has several ready to go here, and it's going to come down to who gets the first pick, and the Chief falling is going to be crucial. The Racers now without Myrith as well. This is a disaster unfolding as the cart pushes backwards. The Racers one by one falling. 10 seconds remaining, and Murray State is crumbling, falling apart at the seams on her all alone, and Augustana, unless an absolute miracle, Chief and on her have to somehow keep this alive, but Augustana with the sleep on the Chief, Myrith hurrying to the point, and these two might be able to sustain long enough to allow the Racers to get back into it, but no, Myrith falls as well, and now it's down to the Chief. He's down, and Augustana, it looks like they're going to take it here. Overtime almost completely extinguished. Yori as well. Verical may get there in time. An anti onto Weezer. Oh, but Yori and Sky down. Now it's down to the Diva. Verical on her is there as well. The overtime is almost gone. Verical's DMEC and gone as well. On her has to get back on untouched. Myrith is now back as well, but the health just continuing to fall. It's not enough healing power out of the Lucio. And Murray State continues to feed in one by one and charge those ultimates, and it's not enough. Now Sky there as well. If somehow they're able to turn this around, at this point I would have to shut down the stream and eat my hat, Flav, but there it is, Chief as well, and that's gonna do it. Augustana taking the victory tonight, 2-1 over Murray State in some tightly contested games.
Yeah, for sure. That was fantastic plays from both teams there. I mean, first game of the NEC season with a lot of new players. I mean, this is exactly what you want from the Racers. Well, not exactly what you want. You obviously want the dub, right? But, I mean, Murray State, they played their heart out. The new players did exceptionally well, especially Myrith, like we saw, Yori, Brodo, and Oatmeal coming in, doing so well. And then the Zarya kind of getting an AFK play of the game there. Yeah, it's so good. Murray State, they need to hold their heads high. They did so well, but again, I think it's just some of that team composition and, team decision-making stuff that just hasn't ironed out yet. And it's pretty hard to iron that out after 2 weeks. So looking forward to seeing them next week, probably.
Yeah, first game jitters done and dusted. First broadcast as well. New players settling in. Hey, and 2-1 scoreline. That's better than a 3-0 or a 2-0. We'll take that for the first game of the semester. And also, viewers, I hope you had as much fun as we did, because we had a lot of fun casting the game tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you are unfamiliar, if you're from Augustana and you're thinking, hey, who are these Murray State guys? Their casters are amazing. We love them. Well, thank you. Everybody loves us. But Murray State University, this is our gold squad. We're located in Western Kentucky. Follow us by scrolling down on Twitch. Check out our Twitter, our webpage, YouTube, Instagram. Check it all out. You can find it below. Drop us a follow. If you have a Prime, it's September. September's almost over. Come on, give us a subscription. Use your Jeff Bezos money to help the organization at Murray State University. My name is Woogie. Flav, thank you for joining us tonight. I always enjoy casting with you, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, guys, stay tuned. Social media. Our League of Legends team plays tomorrow, and games will resume again next week. I think we have Valorant. They start next week. They had a bye this week, right?
Yeah, they should play on Monday, so that'll be our first, competitive Valorant stream. So that'll be super fun. If it's anywhere as close as this Overwatch game was tonight, we're in for a treat for sure. So stay tuned for that. Like Monty said, ring that bell on our Twitch page and our YouTube page, and like he said, look at our social media. So that's all I've got.
All right. Thank you guys again. Thank you to our sponsors, Fox Ridge Computers, WKNT, and Arista Networks. And we will see you all next time.